Trump and Republicans have deep state envy. They want to remake the DOJ and FBI into the politicized weapons they falsely accuse Democrats of using. Republicans don't want to eliminate the deep state, they want to be the deep state. That's the thinking behind support for Donald Trump's attacks on the Justice Department and the FBI. Many Republicans, ranging from candidates like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, former Vice President Pence, and also the conservative-leaning think tank the Heritage Foundation, are all seeking to piggyback on Trump's claims that he is a victim of a politically weaponized DOJ and FBI. Backbench GOP candidate and entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, who co-founded an investment firm devoted to opposing environmental and social governance, deserves a special shout-out for being unabashedly all in on Trump's claim that Biden is directing the federal prosecution in order to get rid of Trump as a political rival. Of course, what Trump and these Republicans really want is to control the DOJ and FBI themselves so that they can deploy law enforcement against their political enemies. We know that is their real goal because they propose making the DOJ and FBI less independent as a solution for what they claim is politically weaponized federal law enforcement, aimed at Republicans. Their illogic, not to mention hypocrisy, is perfectly illustrated by Governor DeSantis' argument that Republican presidents have accepted the canard that the DOJ and the FBI are independent. They are not independent agencies. They are part of the executive branch. They answer to the President of the United States. Accordingly, DeSantis promised to fire people at these agencies upon his becoming president. Similarly, Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel seemed to talk out of both sides of her mouth when she claimed the indictment of Trump over mishandling of national defense information as a partisan prosecution, presumably directed by President Joe Biden, but also criticized Biden for not speaking out about the Trump charges in an effort to unite the country. McDaniel doesn't seem to understand that if she had her way, Biden would be more involved with the Trump indictment, not less involved. But she likely just means she would want a Republican president permitted to be directly involved in directing criminal prosecutions against political rivals. That is what she and DeSantis want, the power to do exactly what they falsely accuse Biden of doing. But DeSantis, McDaniel, and the rest of the wannabe reformers of the DOJ, FBI seem ignorant of history and law. First, the independence of the Justice Department varies widely depending on the administration, and second, the position of the FBI director is, by law, meant to be independent by the length of the position's fixed 10-year term. But history suggests that efforts to insulate the DOJ and FBI from political interference often fail. The Watergate scandal itself exemplifies both the DOJ's lack of true independence, as well as its efforts to apply the law impartially, and the FBI's susceptibility to direct partisan commands. During the Watergate crisis, President Richard Nixon sought to fire Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox, who was investigating him. But when Nixon ordered his Attorney General, Elliot Richardson, to fire the Watergate Special Prosecutor, Richardson refused and resigned. In what became known as the Saturday Night Massacre, the next in line at the DOJ, Deputy Attorney General William D. Ruckelshaus, also resigned when Nixon asked him to be the special prosecutor.